Hello, this is MattiAce, and as the title suggests, this video is about what is good about Battlefield 4 so far in the beta and what is bad about the game. Needless to say, one of the biggest problems for most people that have played this game so far is the lag issues, the frame rate drops and the stutter that we are all struggling with. Some more than others, and it seems to me that people with AMD cards are having a little less of a bad time, and Nvidia card users such as myself are struggling a bit more. I'm not entirely sure if this is all true, but it seems to be the general opinion as far as I've heard. This makes it also really hard to come out with any decent content for you guys, even though I'm trying hard. I just have to cut the recording almost immediately, basically every time I try. But every now and then I'm able to keep the recording going for like 30 seconds or some such. So just like in all games that are in beta and in their early stages of their releases, the weapon balance is not finished, and one of the things that seems to be very overpowered as of now are the sniper rifles. This is of course a matter of opinion, and I'm not saying this to be condescending to the people that are dedicated snipers or who like the recon class, and you are of course all free to disagree with the statements that I'm making here. It's not really statements. I'm trying to get a general feel of the game, and I'm also listening to what some of my friends are saying. And here you can clearly see that I'm a very inexperienced recon player. I'm trying to see how far I can throw this C4, and obviously they don't even come half the distance to this tank. That was probably the lamest C4 attempt in the Battlefield 4 beta so far. Now the fact that you need 3 C4 on the side of the tank in order to take it out is to many people a little bit too much. 2 should be enough, according to most of the people that I've been talking to. So now another thing that is also very controversial in all games is lock-on missiles. The Recon class in Battlefield 4 gets this portable laser designator. This allows any engineer that has line of sight of this marked vehicle to lock onto it with their default rocket launcher. Good or bad? I'm sure some of you guys already have your opinions. So here's one of the things that can be very irritating. In basically all games you can just die from accidents happening, suicides. In Battlefield 4 it's called killed in action. And the thing is, if this happens too many times and for reasons that you can't really control, it has a tendency to be very, very frustrating. So now I want to bring up something that I think is really good about Battlefield 4, and it's the fact that you get points for just dealing damage to enemy vehicles. This is something that SOE could learn from as they keep developing PlanetSide 2. They already have this implemented somewhat when you deal damage from the ground to enemy aircrafts. Now one thing that I don't think is very good is the fact that I cannot unbind or change the key binding for the console key. Or maybe I can. If there is a way, please let me know. Here is something that is very frustrating also. Being stuck outside of the map. This is something that happened quite a bit in Bad Company 2, and many people would have hoped that this would not be repeated. But I think my squadmate actually knows the way out of here. I just wasn't really paying attention to the squad chat, and I have no idea how I ended up here in the first place. So now one of the things that me and some of my friends that have played Battlefield 3 a lot think is very good about this game is that you deal a little bit better damage at range with the carbines and assault rifles and light machine guns than you did in Battlefield 3. I'm not sure if this is actually about the weapon damage. It could be the way it's easy to control the weapons in this game. We'll have to come back to that in a later video. Of course, with the additional lags that you get while recording, makes it quite a lot harder. And then of course I had to bring up rooftops. The thing about taking the elevator up to rooftop and then just parachute down is a very fast way of traveling from one base to another. The problem is with the people that stay on the rooftop and camp it in order to just get easier kills on your opponents. Well, that is if you consider that a problem. Now, you might be one of those people who like to stay on the rooftop all the game long, or you might think that it's quite easy to take them out. So, whether or not you think this is a problem with the rooftops, I'm sure this is going to be discussed for a long time forward. And now we have this thing that's been bothering me with the Battlefield games for quite a while. It's when you get stuck on something that really shouldn't get you stuck. So now the fact that I can just go around this wreck of a car, or the fact that I was able to get past it, eventually is actually besides the point, because when this happens in battle, it can be a very deciding factor in the outcome of your engagement, and it is very, very frustrating. And what I'm talking about is these little objects that really shouldn't stop you from moving in any direction. Like this, for example. Why this little thing blocks me from moving forward is beyond me. Now, I know how to get past this object, obviously, like this, but I shouldn't have to do that. I mean, when was the last time you took a jump to get up on a sidewalk on a street, for example? I mean, you just take a step up, right? It shouldn't. You don't even think about it. And now that you're watching this, you probably don't think about getting stuck anymore, cause I have no idea what this bugs comes from, and as far as I know, there are very few people that have had it. And even though it looks kind of funny, it is quite irritating with game bugs. So hopefully this is just a beta thing, and I really hope this never happens to any of you guys who are watching this. Here is another thing that I hope will get fixed. Cause did that really look like we actually hit one another in the air? Not to me, it didn't. And there are very similar problems with the collision with aircrafts in PlanetSide 2. And yeah, I did mention balance, right? If you wanna feel something that is really overpowered, try this boat. It's the Super Mega Extra Deadly BF4 boat. That's the name of it, I think. So now it's not like you can't kill this boat or anything. With a decent tanker, you can hit it a few times and kill it. It can also be marked by the recon, and you can log onto it with your RPG. So yeah, it's just that the gun and the amount of damage this boat can take, it makes it a bit overpowered, I think. It's not like something you have to really practice, but one of the things that I unfortunately didn't record here is that you have a secondary gun as a driver of this boat, and it's an AV weapon that I will try to cover as soon as possible. So now, most of you guys that have been following my channel for a while probably associate me with flying quite a bit actually, and I have been flying in most of my previous games. Whether or not I'm going to get into flying in Battlefield 4, I don't know yet. Right now I'm terrible at it. I believe that the heli of Battlefield 4 is similar to Battlefield 3, and I never did try to fly the Battlefield 3 heli at all. I did fly the jet quite a bit, but that's it. Now a lot of people dislike aircraft in any game, and a lot of people really like it. I hope to be covering it more in the future. So there is a lot more to be said when it comes to good or bad things about Battlefield 4. Any feedback is of course welcome, and I am probably going to come out with more videos that are similar to this one in the near future, so please stay tuned to the channel, and thank you for watching. Bye for now.